tonight, and we talking about legends. Man, this guy is opening up a whole entire country, continent, and everything else. Man, so very, very excited to be in business with him, man. One of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And, I've been to his incredibly beautiful home up in Vermont. This guy is so super successful, even outside of this business, but just a strong, very successful businessman in life. He don't need this business at all. Let's make it clear. He's here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to change people's lives. So with further ado, I'm going to introduce my man, my partner, my great friend, Mr. Dale Franklin. Dale, are you ready to take over?
I'm ready, Chris. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear, man. It's good. It's good you're not sounding like Mickey Mouse tonight.
There's for those who haven't been on here before, once in a great while, my computer picks things up a weird way, and I come on and I sound just like Mickey Mouse. So that's why I always get a voice check when I know I'm going to speak. Guys, if you haven't got them in front of you right now, tonight I'm bursting. I'm bursting with excitement tonight. And if anybody who knows me knows that I'm not. That's not me. I'm kind of reserved. I'm kind of old school Vermonter, but I am fired up tonight. And the first thing I'd like you all to do, if you don't have paper and pencil or paper and pen, please get it, okay? Because I'm going to give you some specific instructions tonight. All right, I see everybody's got it. Great. I'm going to give you some specific things to do tonight that are going to explode your business if you choose to use them, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, start off, 10 days ago, I headed off on vacation. I was burnt out. I was tired. I put a lot into my other businesses. I put a lot into this business, and I was drained, and the great thing about this business and everything else I've done in my life, I can afford to have nice vacations. So we went down, we rented a house that slept 18. I was able to sit there and look out over the ocean and get myself recharged. The ocean recharges me like nothing else. And so you see me today after being a week at the beach. I am back. I am fired up. I am energized, and I'm ready to kick some ass. Okay. So here's where we're going to go tonight. Now, I have invested in a company that's going to help you grow internationally. Okay. And what this company, I'm going to jump around a little bit, so bear with me. But this company is called Spiffio. If you go online, it's spf.io. And it explains itself as an all-in-one translation and accessibility software for events and prepared content. Okay. What that means is we're going to be able to create translations for our recorded presentations and for some of our live presentations in any language we want, and have it so that when people are listening to us, they're going to see a scroll at the bottom that's going to be in their language. Okay. This is going to change things for us, guys. I was talking to Apollo, one of my leaders in East Africa, and we were talking about the fact that we're doing this right now in Swahili. He said, do you know there's 200 million Africans that speak predominantly Swahili, and no one else in the world in network marketing is addressing this population? Okay, so it's gonna give us, we're gonna be first to market with a lot of stuff. Okay, so, and before I get going too much further, I just want to emphasize the fact of what Lennon and Chris just said. By us bringing our overall team together, we're bringing Lennon's team to Chris's team, with Adrian's team in South Africa, with Phil and my team, and all of East Africa. We're all going to be one big family, okay? And by doing that, the power of having a family that big, I come from a big family, and I know if I run into trouble, one time I broke down 150 miles away from home. I called an uncle. He drove 100 miles to come down and help me at 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? And help me get home. And I knew I could do that with him because he knew he could do it with me. And that's the same way when you're building a family like this. That's what we are, a tight family. I have people in 62 countries, and I'm confident in every one of those countries, if I got into a bind, there's somebody there that I could call who would come and help me out. And that's what this business to me is all about. Yes, we're in it to make money, and we're going to make money, but it's also about building the connections. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about what I'm talking tonight, because so much of this is about building friends, building a family around the world. There are people you're going to meet if you do what I train. There's going to be people you're going to meet over the next 30, 60, 90 days that you will be your friends for the rest of your life from all over the world. Okay. Dear friends, family, you know, those long lost uncles and aunts that you never thought you'd have, type of thing. So guys, here's what we're going to start with tonight. So again, I just can't emphasize enough. We are family and we're ready to go. Now I'm going to, do you have me set up so I can share the screen, Chris?
Yes, sir. You're set up as the host, so you can.
Okay, great. I'm going to take you here. And first of all, before I tell you a lot about what we're doing, I'm going to show you. Now, this is a website that was created by one of my partners, Barb DeZettis, for me, and she did it up right. You know, dalefranklin.net, and that's what you're going to want to go to when you're getting the information I'm giving you, and all the information I put in this. All you have to do is go to dalefranklin.net, and it'll take you to this website. And as you can see, we even have logos and everything. We're providing opportunity, shaping legacy. They even made a logo out of an old picture of me. This is a picture of me at my son's wedding. It was a real hot day, and I think I'd had a few to drink. So, but they said that was me. So that's how that became my logo. But again, the reason I want you to go here has nothing to do with that. What I want you to do is if you come to dalefranklin.net and you go over here to connections, okay? Now, everything that Chris does as far as telling people on each week how to get into Telegram and WhatsApp and all that, if you have people that just say they aren't that tech savvy, and I'm not, but if they're not that tech savvy, make it easy for them. Send them my connections, and they can go in there and they can click on this, and they can get Telegram brought down to them. Same thing here with WhatsApp. They can have that loaded. Whatever they want is here. If they want to go on and check out the Win Network, it's right there. Win Testimonials, Team We. If they want to go to My Daily Choices corporate Facebook page, it's right there. So I'm just telling you this so you have another way to easily send people to stuff. Chris does a great job with this, but and you really don't need this, but I just wanted to let you know it's here since we're here anyway. But what I want you to do from here is I want you to go down and I want you to subscribe on YouTube. Click that button. And this is when we're going to get into some cool stuff. Okay. This is my library of all my Mondays with Dale. And you can see there's been trainings with Lennon. There's been trainings with Chris. There's been Adrian Peterson, you name it. There's all kinds of people here. But the thing we're going to really focus on tonight is you've all seen this. This is Chris's opportunity presentation that he created a new one from June. And we're going to click on that. And I'm going to shut it down for a second here. Okay. This is what we do in America. This is what we do in the United States. This is what we do for people who speak English. But what about the rest of the world? Well, by using this Spiffio, this is what we can do. And I want to bring you on here so you can see how it's done. That you can download this and or go on my dalefranklin.net and grab it, or you can download it. You can pull it off YouTube, whatever you want to do. But if you look down here, it shows basically the one that we've created here shows closed caption. Okay, CC's closed caption. If you click on that, and what it's going to do, it's going to bring up, now this one here, I believe is Ukrainian. This company that I've started working with, what they do, and let me give you the procedure real quick. Basically, I have Jody Levanway. You guys know Jody because she's the one that always gives you the updates every day on what's happening for the day. Well, Jody's one of my affiliates, one of my associates, and I have her. She goes in, and when Chris did this presentation, she went into that presentation and she basically, what's the word they use? Transcribed. She transcribed everything that he said. If there were, and this is great for guys like me to do a lot of umming and ands and all this kind of stuff. She just gets rid of all the little stuff, you know. If there's any translation problems as far as maybe they didn't pick up a certain word right or something like that, she'll fix it. But so she gets it all transcribed, and then she sends it to another one of my associates who helps me with my social media, Barb DeZetis. Barb meets with Spiffio, and they basically she tells them what languages we want to be using, and they set us up these lines here. There's a word, and here I am forgetting it already. But basically, the what you see on the screen below there, that they create those. Now, if you can go to settings, which is that little wheel type thing, and you see where it says subtitles, okay, that one's in Russian. But we can do it. We've got it set up right now in Spanish. We've got it set up in Swahili. And look what happens when we turn Chris on.
And I truly believe
it's going to, everything he's doing is going to be showed in Swahili. Okay. Now, why is this important? This is important because, number one, our company is growing all over the world. And when they open a new country, the ones that do the best are the ones that the first ones there, and not necessarily the first ones there, but the first ones there that are organized, are prepared. Okay. So if we can take and know, like we know right now that Russia is going to be opening in about 60 days. So that's why we have Russia already there. We know that we're building in South America. So we got Spanish, eventually we're going to be working in Asia, all over Asia, and we'll have a lot of Asian languages and stuff like that. We can be ahead of the curve, okay? So that when we reach out to people, they're going to feel much more comfortable if they see something that they understand in their own language. Now, what we're going to do here is, let me pull up my next thing here. Okay, the first thing is, we can start off with something like this, an opportunity presentation, okay? And what we're going to do here is kind of do it in phases. The first phase is we have Chris Bailey speaking in English. And because of that, you're getting even though they can't understand him, some of these people in their languages, they can feel his passion. They can feel his excitement. They can feel his realness, if nothing else. And so he's speaking, and they're going to be able to see what he's saying will be on the bottom of the screen. Okay, so they'll be able to understand. That's phase one with the subtitles. That was the word I was trying to remember, and I forgot. Okay, so again, we have the subtitles, and that'll be in their language. Now, what's going to be eventually going to happen, and we're working on this right now, is in our back office, we have a lot of these things in slideshows, in opportunity slideshows in other languages. We already have one for, say, Ukraine, okay? So what we're working on right now is they're going to be able to see, they're going to hear Chris speaking in English. They're going to see the slideshow in Ukrainian, and they're going to see the subtitles running at the bottom telling you exactly what Chris is saying in Ukrainian, okay? Do you know what the power of that's going to be like? I mean, you're going to take people, it's the same with us. I mean, if you're watching a foreign movie with English subtitles, unless it's a really good movie, it's pretty easy to just kind of glaze over, not pay attention. But when you've got all the information on the screen is in your language, and what he's saying is being translated in your language, it's going to be a huge difference. And when you get into countries that no one else is doing this, such as most of the African continent with the Swahili or Afrikaans, nobody else in the world is doing this, guys. This is going to put us so far ahead of the curve. I mean, my hands are shaking. I'm so excited about this, because in business, you always look for that thing, that one thing that gives you an advantage over other people. And this is our advantage. Now, let's be realistic. There are big leaders in network marketing, there's big leaders in our company that when somebody reaches out to the corporate office and they're maybe they're a network marketer in another company, and they're deciding they want to move, okay? Or somebody reaches out from a country we're not already in and tells corporate that they want us to do something there, and they're willing to invest and get things rolling. our corporate, just like other corporations in this network marketing field, are going to look out at their leaders and they're going to disperse them to their best leaders. It might not be us, it might be somebody else. But the thing is, once we prove to our corporate leadership that we are so far ahead of the curve, who do you think is going to get some of that? Okay, so we're not only showing the world that we are good at this business, and we're not only showing the world that we have some of the best leaders and best trainers in the business, but we're also trying to show corporate that they should rely on us whenever possible, because we're not only going to give those people incredible training, but we're going to encompass them into a culture that's going to keep them around and keep them excited. So anyway, that's phase two, is have all that, and that's what we're working on this opportunity presentation. The one that's on here right now is pretty well ready. So if you guys want to start using this right now and use any of the subtitles here in Russian, Spanish, Swahili, Ukrainian, or just leave it in English, they're there for you. We'll be adding more as time goes on. Okay, and you can start with those. Now, over time, will we find that there's on some of these there might be a few words that got translated wrong? Probably, and we've already had that. I just did a training video on back office, and when I got to talking about credit wallet, it sounded, the translation they used in Swahili made it look like it was a loan rather than a credit wallet. So we had to change the wording to change that. So will there be occasionally some misunderstandings? Yes, but if you wait until everything is perfect, you're always waiting. So go ahead and use this. If you're showing it to somebody and somebody says, questions a certain thing and tells you that, oh, that's not what that really means or whatever, let us know. We can correct it on the fly that day, okay? And just put it we'll always update this one, so this one will always be up to date. So again, use this as soon as possible and use it. And if you have a country we're already in, that you have people that you think would be real interested in a language that we don't have here, tell me. It's I paid several $1,000s to get hooked up with this company, and that gives me a certain amount of time every month. If I don't use it, I lose it. And if I need to spend more money to have more time than that, I'm perfectly willing to do that. So you have somebody in your team who's willing to spend the money to do this, so you can all take advantage of it. So take advantage of it. As I said, we had created the back office training, that one of the ones I've done recently, and that one will be. There was a couple mistakes on that we're fixing. Barb's on vacation right now, waiting for her to get back, but we should have that out in about a week. So that's going to be a full 45-minute back office training. Tells all your new people exactly what's going on in the back office, gets them prepared so they know where stuff is, so that from going forward from then on, they could run this business anywhere in the world, even if suddenly they didn't have us, but they're going to always have us to help build. So again, we're trying to create this safety net that we don't lose people. People do not fall through this net, and we don't lose people because of lack of communication. Eventually, we're going to have live events on this. We're eventually going to be able to do our Super Saturdays and have somebody that's going to be sitting there transposing and sending it out in a different language while we're talking. We can also do many more things. If you guys have a scripted a call that you're going to do that you pretty well know what you're going to say, we can script it beforehand, so that as you're speaking, it might not be word for word what you're saying, but it'll be close enough so that they'll get the gist of what they're doing. But it'll look, as far as they're concerned, they're being talked to in their language and in real time. So again, these are all things that I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am, because if you want to build internationally, this is what is going to take us way above and beyond anything you've seen so far. A few things, like I said, we can build all over Africa, most all over Africa in Swahili right now. I'm working with Apollo and in Uganda and the DRC. The DRC is both French speaking and Swahili. Tanzania is primarily Swahili. There's so many places that we have been building in, but we've been so limited because of the language barrier. And this is going to help us say that. When Apollo told some network marketing friends of his that are in other network marketing companies what we are doing here, and going to have it in Swahili, he said one guy almost did a backflip. He said nobody else is doing this. He says if this is what you guys are going to be doing with the comp plan you've got and everything you guys got going for you with this fast growth and all that, he said this is going to be off the chain. It's going to be incredible. And they say as soon as they have it, these are guys that are already network marketers in other companies, and this is what's going to bring them over to our team. Okay, so again, I'm super excited about this. As I said earlier, when we use this, we can be first team to market, and I hope you understand how valuable that is, because first team to market gets a chance to talk to network marketers that who are looking for a new home. And let there be no doubt, during the pandemic, a tremendous amount of network marketing companies died. People that had been in business with certain companies for years and making commissions, the commissions stopped getting paid. You can ask our own Chris Bailey. He went through that with one company. When those companies start to fail or start to show weakness, the ships the rats want to leave the ship. They're trying to find a new place to go. And when they hear about what we have to offer, they're going to want to be with us. And once we get them in with this, and then they see the training that we offer, the leadership we offer, everything that we have, it's going to be it's game over, guys. I mean, once they come to us, I've had more people that have spoken to me in just the last month and a half, 2 months, that tell me horror stories about, corporate offices that promise them the world, and then they don't hear another word from them. Nobody returns their calls, nobody returns their emails. And our customer service, both from corporate and from our teams, is impeccable. I mean, when I tell them what we do for our teams, they flip out. They can't believe that there's a company out there doing this kind of stuff. They can't believe there's teams out there that are still acting this professional. And the difference is that not all of us are in it just for the money, okay? And the average person can see, a consumer can always tell if they're being sold strictly for money. If you got a guy that's trying to sell you a car and he needs that commission and he's really, really hungry, you can tell he's more concerned about selling you a car rather than your car, okay? And we have proven over and over again that we are a company that cares about doing the right thing. So something here I wrote here: most network marketers are not business people. They don't invest. We are, and you get to use it, okay? That's not saying anything bad about network marketers. I'm just saying that most network marketers aren't business people. And so they have an employee mentality, and because of that, they're always thinking about how they can make more money, but they never think about how they could invest money. Well, some of us leaders have been willing to do that kind of stuff. Some of us pay for an office in a country that the corporate office hasn't done that with yet. We do something like this here, this translation. We're willing and more happy to do it, more willing to put money in, because we know it's going to help our teams grow, and if our teams grow, we're going to benefit in the long run. So, having said all that, okay, I've told you about the tool we have, and I've told you about how the different ways we can use it. But how do we get started? How do you get started? Okay, the first thing you need somebody from another country that we're already in, and I want to emphasize that we're already in. I've helped open several countries, and it's benefited me. But let me tell you, it's a lot of work. And having one, and if we're in a country where we can't ship product, Vegas can tell you a story about a guy he signed in one of the countries in Africa, and the guy bought a big kit, and it's taken months and months and months to get him the kit. Not because our company isn't trying, it's just there's so many government things that hold things up, so many postal laws between all the different countries that hold things up. So again, we want to stick with countries that we're already in, or the company itself is starting to open. Okay, so if you have, I'm going to use, for everything I'm talking about now, I'm going to use Ukraine as an example. In this day and age, they talk about six degrees of separation, and I've heard recently that with Facebook and all that, it's more like 2 or 3 degrees of separation. If you either know somebody from the Ukraine, or you know somebody who knows somebody from the Ukraine. Okay, so if that's the case, then reach out to them and tell them about what we're doing. Now, if they're people that only speak Ukrainian, we can work with what I just talked about. If there are people that speak English, that's so much the better, because now you got somebody that may be living in Ukraine who speaks English, and they can be your kind of focal person to help build throughout your team there. So that's one way of doing it. Now, you always heard us talking about tap rooting. Okay, if you had one friend in Ukraine, or knew one person who knew somebody in Ukraine, and you showed them what we had to offer, and they weren't interested, I'll tell you, most, especially Eastern Europeans, if you look at their friends list, they have 4,000 or 5,000 friends. Start tap rooting them. If they say they're not interested, don't do it beforehand. But if you talk to them and they say they're not interested, go into their page, go to their friends section, look through them, and look for keywords, because a lot of people around the world, when they describe themselves, they may say business owner, entrepreneur, someone who's saying network marketer, or expansion leader, or something like that. When you see those things, those are keywords. Those should click. Try to friend them. You're gonna friend a few people, and some are gonna friend you, some of them aren't. But if you do that, if you take somebody that said no and they've got 4,000 friends, I'll guarantee you some of those friends are gonna be interested. Now, if some of those friends say they're interested, what's the next thing you do? Go back to that person you knew and tell them you've already talked to several of their friends who want to get in this business, and say, I'm going to sign them up, but I'd rather let you sign them up and give them one last chance. Okay, that way that's the fair way, and it's also the best way to bring somebody on who's on the fence. So again, taproot that way. Number 2, immigration. Immigrants in the U.S. or immigrants wherever you are. I don't care where you are, but if you go on Facebook, again, on Ukraine, I went on Facebook and looked for Ukrainians in the United States. Guess what? There's a group of that called that. Ukrainians in North America, there's a group called that. One of them had 17,000 members. One had 4,400 members. You can do the same thing. I went at Russians in Boston, Russians in New York City. Okay, there's all kinds of groups. Okay, so what you basically do is the same thing. Either join the groups and just start building relationships. Okay, guys, this is a relationship business. You got to remember that. 2 things to be important. You got to remember is relationship business, and be patient. Okay, if you are building from people you don't know like that, you can't start it off by throwing a business at them. You got to build a relationship. Say hi. Talk to them like you would talk to anybody you met on a street corner or whatever. Maybe you're sitting in a bar having a drink, and somebody's sitting next to you. We've all done that, and you get chatting and get to know them. Ask about their family, their kids, what the area they live in, their culture, whatever. Start building that trust. Okay, and if you do that over several calls, several messages, whatever, you build a relationship. And eventually, they're going to ask you more about yourself and want to know what you do. And then that's an opening for you to tell them what you're doing, and then go from there. But it's so much more powerful when they ask you what you do than you just throwing at them what you want them to do for you. Okay, does that make sense? So, again, if they are interested, it's great. If they're not, then you can taproot with them. And some of the other keywords that I talked about: self-employed, MLM, networking, expansion leader, all kinds of things like that. The other thing you can do, if you are feeling, if you're having one of those days when you just want to, you're impatient and you want to do something, pick out a bunch of them. Now this is a gamble, this is a crapshoot, but I have on occasion just written to them and said, hey, I saw you are you own your own business, or I see you are a networker or whatever. Are you interested in an additional income stream? Okay. And I usually put, if you aren't, no biggie, but I am expanding my team, and I'm just looking for a few new leaders. That's all you have to say. So it's taking the pressure off them. But again, if this business is about building friendships and building relationships, but every once in a while I just take a day and I'll say, I'm just going to pick 20 people, and I'm just going to let them all know that hey, this is what I'm doing. So that's two different ways you can do that group. And I tell them, I'm looking for a few strong prospects for yourself. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a note I left myself. When let them know that if they come on, you are really looking for, and I'm going to explain this in just a minute, you're looking for 3 to 5 people that you can build with, and then anything else that you find, put under them. Tell them you're going to put it under them. Tell them that you're going to help build them. You're going to help make them wealthy. My job in this business is not to make me wealthy. It's to make 3 to 5 other people in the world wealthy, and that'll make me wealthy too. Okay. So again, you always want to remember that. Think about yourself last. Think about your team first. You can also, number 3, you can also advertise. I do a lot of that with Facebook, small budgets, $10, $12, $15 a day. You can even do less than that. Here's a little ad that I just put together. New to Ukraine, one of the world's fastest growing companies. Minimum $300 investment required. Be one of the first in your country. That was it. Just enough to pique their interest. It's enough to keep under the oversight of Facebook, so they don't come down hard on you. But it gets the word out. And from that one ad, I've gotten about 250, I think, people reach out. Now, a lot of them are just tire kickers, but you do get those people. I've already picked up 4 people that are all bilingual, and those people when they come on, are going to become my centerpieces, because I'm going to be able to speak to them in English and use them as a translator for translating them the rest of the team, and I'm going to help them grow. Once again, if you got people that come on like that and they don't and they're not interested afterwards, and they got a big group under them, taproot. Keep remembering that taproot. When you get somebody that shows they're interested and then they fall off, if they got 4,000 people on their friends list, you've got 4,000 more people to work with. Any one of you who walks up to me and tells me you can't find people to talk to, I'll roll my eyes. I'm sorry, guys, but there's so many people to talk to. And then the last one of this group is existing networkers. If you see people that are, if you when you're talking to people from other countries, and I ask them, do you know any networkers now? And they'll say, yeah, oh yeah, my buddy's a big networker and such and such. Well, let me just give me his contacts, and the same thing with him. I'll tell you, in Africa, in South America, in Asia, in Eastern Europe, most network marketers do the one thing I don't believe in. They build network marketing companies with 3 or 4 companies. Now, it's a guaranteed way to fail in my book, but they do it. So if they're going to do it, what I try to do is I tell them, are you interested in another income stream? If they say yes, and they tell me they're already with 2 other companies, I'm okay with that, because I know once I get them on board and they see what we're doing for them as far as our services, as far as our training, as far as our leadership, I know they're not getting that wherever they are. I know it. So eventually, even though there were 2 or 3 others before, eventually they're going to be with us, because I'm that arrogant that I believe that our team is better than their team. Okay. So again, there's so many ways to prospect. And they're going to learn that we have better service, better training, better comp plan. Our comp plan, when most people see our comp plan versus other companies, they don't even, I've lost people to it because they thought it was a scam because they thought it was too good, you know? And so again, it's a fantastic comp plan. Now, I'm just about through here. There's a couple last things. I want you to remember this. This has nothing to do with what I've been talking about other than in our company, the way our company's comp plan is set up. If you sign up one affiliate, you enroll one affiliate, and that affiliate goes on and becomes a superstar. And say they're making $10,000 a month in binary. Because you got them in, because you helped them, because you mentored them, because all the stuff you did, the company believes you should get something. And that leadership check match to you for somebody who signed up is 30%. So if he's making $10,000, you're making $3,000 off that person. And I could tell you stories about people that left the company that could be making, $3 million a year right now that just left too soon. But that's what happens if you have one affiliate with our company. Now, if you have 3 affiliates, and you focus the rest of your career, if you get 3 affiliates that are serious, hardworking, coachable, if you spend the rest of your career helping them grow, building them, if you find more people yourself, don't sign them up yourself, sign them up under them. Show the loyalty that you want from them. You got to show that loyalty first to them. Okay. You help those 3 people become wealthy in this business. And guess what? You will become a super affiliate. Now you take that one step further. If you find 5 affiliates that are serious about this business and doing it internationally, maybe you have one in Ukraine, maybe you have one in Thailand, maybe you have one in Kenya, maybe you have one in Africa, the United States, maybe you have one in Colombia, okay? And you help them all grow by what I've showed you tonight, okay? You make those 5 people wealthy and you will be a master affiliate, okay? Because the way it works in our company, once you get to that master affiliate level, no more than 20% of the volume can come from any one person. So that means you have to have 5, but you get those 5 people and you help them become wealthy and help them become a super affiliate, and you will be a master affiliate, okay? When you look at it that way, yes, it's a hard thing to do, and we have yet to have a master affiliate. But if you look at it that way and you focus on my job for the rest of my career is to make 5 people incredibly wealthy. It's going to benefit you. And when you have those 5 people and they know that you're focusing entirely on helping those 5 people succeed, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want somebody like a Lennon Ledbetter or a Chris Bailey or myself as their mentor with the full focus on making them wealthy? How many people do any of you have in your back that's spending all their time thinking about helping you become wealthy? This is unheard of. And so by helping other people to succeed, I will automatically succeed. If Chris helps other people to succeed, he will automatically succeed. Lennon's done it for years and years and years, and you can see how well it helped him succeed. So find your 5 serious people from all over the world. Spend the rest of your career making them wealthy. You automatically succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Focus on them, not yourself, and you will become the best possible person you can be from a wealth standpoint, and you'll be proud of what you've done. When I lay my head on the pillow for the last time in my life, knowing I've helped people around the world succeed beyond their wildest imaginations, I can go quietly into that night and be happy with what I've done. So having said all that, back to you, Chris.
Okay,